Monday the 13th of February 1995.
I arrive at Grand Junction, Colorado, with the news that the train tonight had been delayed by a few hours.
My delicate plans of connections have been disconnected and straggling wires were left blowing in the wind. Nothing else to be done but to rethink and rebook tickets. When I finally left the station, I followed some giant dinosaur footprints on the pavement. They pointed all the way to Dinosaur Valley, a paleontology museum. This'll be good. I've always had a fascination with fossils, and finding a dinosaur fossil must be the absolute peak of fossil hunting. I excitedly skipped along the trail of dinosaur footprints, channeling my inner child, crossing the road, and as the Dinosaur Valley Museum sign came into focus, my face fell. Closed on Mondays. Why did I have to arrive on a Monday? So I looked for alternative entertainment, wandering around all the interesting assortment of sculptures placed around the town, much of which was inspired by Native American petroglyphs, such as Kokopelli playing his flute. He's obviously a very popular character around here, where you see him on postcards, plates, mugs, t-shirts, keyrings, everything really. I sketched the sculptures, and as I continued to explore, my sense of the town became greyer, darker, sadder.
I began to notice posters of lost and abducted people. As I wandered, the posters became more and more apparent. Teenage faces in windows, on lampposts, bus shelters, on cartons of milk. And then the odour of petrol, an intense, sharp, acrid smell in the air. I went into a shop that was closing down, and as I left without buying anything, I could hear tears in the lady's voice as she said goodbye. As I wandered slowly back to the station, the feeling of sadness of this place began to envelop me.
I began to feel like the lost person on the milk carton. I've been travelling across America for a month and a half now, and nobody knows where I am. Last seen tearing tickets at a Maidstone cinema reminds me that I must send a postcard home. The station was quiet and uneventful, and gave me time to reflect on my travels and sketch a few memories of places and people I'd seen, and write those overdue postcards home. The junction in Grand refers to the confluence of two rivers, the Gunnison and the Colorado, which was once called the Grand, hence Grand Junction. But somehow it doesn't feel that grand today. Maybe Mondays just aren't a good day, but perhaps that's an overgeneralization.
I waited, and I waited, and I waited for the train. Eventually, it arrived at 3:10 a.m. I'd been waiting 10 hours at Grand Junction station, but at least there was a station, and it was comfortable. Apparently there'd been an avalanche or something, but whatever the reason, I was very pleased when it finally showed up and I could climb onto my now familiar space on board the Amtrak.
Time for sleep now. Hopefully tomorrow will feel more optimistic.